Good morning. Because October is the easiest month to romanticize, I've decided to film a little day in the life video, which starts with the best wake up in the world from Kobe, which quickly deteriorates into him stealing my socks because he doesn't understand that the longer it takes for me to get ready in the morning, the longer it takes to get him to the park, which is his favourite place. Here he is pulling on his lead because he doesn't respect me. There he is at the park with a ball in his mouth. Top 5 Kobe activities, he's usually got a ball in his mouth. There he is running up to his friends. He has an actual friend group, which I adore, and I'm friends with all of the parents, which is, it's a nice little community. When I get home, I like to pick an oracle card just to set the vibe of the day, add a bit of whimsy. I picked the Magician today, which was very fun. I love that card. Then it was time to go to work, and my screensaver there is actually drawn by my friend Martin, who is an amazing artist, and that is Sasha from the Magnus Archives. That's me eating some toast, gotta have some breakfast, and obviously the last piece does go to Kobe. Then the post came and I was pretty chuffed because it was things I'd actually ordered instead of just scary letters. It was some photos of me and Kobe and then a book of queer disabled poetry that was recommended to me by my friend Grace, who I trust implicitly with every poetry recommendation. This is me after work putting my photos of Kobe in my photo album. I print out pretty much every photo that we have. That one's my favourite. And I keep them all in photo albums because I'm fucking crazy about my dog. I love him so ridiculously much. And this is physical proof, Mum, that I clean my house. I try and do a few little bits every day after work just to keep on top of things. And then I had a shower because I had about half an hour to get ready before going out for dinner with my sister. I just brushed my hair. I didn't do anything fancy with it because we were only going out to Nando's. And then this is me putting concealer over where I've been picking at my fucking face. That's my wardrobe, and this is the outfit that I picked. I quite like to layer clothes and sort of go around one colour scheme, so that's the top half and this is the bottom half. I had to bribe Kobe with a toy to be quiet for that shot. And that's him when he saw my mum approaching down the drive. He fucking loves going on walks with her, and she took him out on his forest walk while I had dinner. So when I got back, we did a little bit of training. I was kind of gutted that we missed the woods today because it's such a fun part of my daily routine, but I'll just spend extra long with him tomorrow. This is the tricks that he knows. My favourite one is coming up. I'm going to ask him to jump up. There he goes. That's how I measure how tall he is. And then we went on another walk because he just won't shit or piss in my garden, so we have to walk all the time. But I love how this tree looks under that streetlight every time we walk this route. And then he needs to be chased around the living room if he wants to go to sleep. So this is us doing that. Once Kobe had settled, it was time to do some magic, so I went into my garden and I clipped some rosemary and some mint. I'm pretty impressed that I've had most of my herbs growing over a very hot, dry summer, and they stayed pretty sturdy. So I'm very impressed with that, but I wanted to use some of them to make a mini simmer pot. I love this book, Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. It gives you a really good baseline of what different herbs can be used for, and I picked rosemary for focus and mint for clarity because I find that peppermint and any sort of tea that has mint in it gives me such a boost in mental energy, and that's what I was trying to bring in with this little simmer pot. So I stripped the herbs and I put them in some water and I lit a little candle underneath this pot, which I got from a charity shop. It was such a great find because it's so practical, and it was like £2 or something. There she is. She looks and smells beautiful. And I also lit the candles on my October seasonal altar before I settled down to actually do some creative work. I loaded up BandLab. I've not been making music digitally in a while, but I wanted to make a little backing track for this video. So what you've been hearing in the background this entire time is actually what I made about an hour and a half ago. I'm trying to read more recently and I'm getting really into horror novels. This is the one that I finished yesterday. It was lent to me by my friend Frankie and I really enjoyed it. I think some of the descriptions in there were just absolutely phenomenal. Truly some of the best writing I've ever read. However, the ending was its weakest part, which was kind of disappointing. And then this is my next read, which somebody on Reddit said, just buy it, read it, don't find anything else out about it. So I'm about to start doing that this evening. I like to end each night with a Horlicks, but I didn't have any in, so my mum gave me some in a plastic tub, which you can see isn't the most efficient way to deliver Horlicks into a mug, but I love my mum, so I love this. These are Kobe's favourite bedtime treats, and he will not go upstairs until I have one in my hand, and then he eats it in this really awkward hunched over position. And now we are in bed again. Love a circular narrative. Good night.